go. Hi. Do. Howdy. Welcome back. I want to take another look at Ironsworn Starforged, because that's what I was looking at last time, and I didn't finish. So, how about if we go to my face? Hey, there we go. I forgot to switch to the from the starting. I actually have an exit screen now, so that's kind of cool. Yeah. Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doo, ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doo. Oh, you know what? Actually, one of the first things that we did last time, one of the first things I did last time, was I took a quick look at the status of the Kickstarter. Let's take a look. So there were about almost exactly 3,000, slightly over 3,000 backers last week at when I did my last stream. So this is almost exactly 1,000 more people have joined, and there's 20 days left to go. So it's pretty cool, and they keep trying to come up with new stretch goals that aren't too onerous to actually fulfill. I think a lot of people are asking for special dice, but I don't think they're asking for the kind of dice that I was thinking about talking about last time. Anyhow, so the Kickstarter, check it out. Just go to Kickstarter and do a search for Starforged, if you don't already know, or just go to ironswornrpg.com and check it out, because it's going gangbusters. Join in. Any level of support, you get access to the first post, which is pinned at the top of the posts, and you can get this fully functional preview edition and start playing. We're at launching your campaign, which is the thing that I'm gonna do next. Hold on. I'm closing things that I've already looked at so that I don't use up my system resources. I got so much going on. It's crazy. My poor old Mac just can't handle it. Anyhow, so we're gonna launch our campaign. We went through, sort of basically did a read through of the rules up until this point, up until chapter 2. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what's next. So we're going to prepare for liftoff. We're going to do the truths, which is the world building, and then we're going to create a character, and then build a starting sector, and then begin our adventure. That's a lot in a whole chapter. The one thing I do want to show you is here's these are the things that I had done. This was the little dashboard that I had created in one of my previous ones. And these are on my itch.io profile if you want to download them, and ways to track progress. And then these were the play tests that I did. And I also actually I have my ULOD, the uplifted spec op or uplifted octopus spec ops agent. And then I was using these little divots or arrows, stickum arrow things to track what's going on. And then this is also actually, I have Makoto Havaru, who was my Ironsworn character as well. So I managed to dig those out. There's part of me that wants to continue ULOD, but let's see what happens. I'm kind of wavering on what to do, whether to continue with ULOD or not. I did print out a bunch of the play kit stuff, and I have 2 copies of them in case I make mistakes. But my printer, for some reason, didn't like the really light gray that is on these, and so it didn't really print properly. So I don't know if that's going to cause me problems, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and decide. Oh man, look at that art. That, the little spheres down at. Oh, I'm not even showing you the thing. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so yeah, streaming is fun because there's so much to keep track of. It's like being drunk. There's just like you lose track of what's going on so easily, and like because the stream is delayed, it's like there's this weird time echo. It's almost like having a concussion. Anyhow, this is a really cool illustration. The spherical things there remind me a lot, and kind of because of it's mechanical, it reminds me a lot of Stalinheg, the sort of Tales from the Loop kind of thing, except of course the spaceship going off, which is pretty cool. Oh, and look at the murmuration of the birds. I'm assuming they're birds in in the background there, way in the background. That's really cool. Okay, prepare for liftoff. In this chapter, you'll launch your Starforged campaign by deciding the truths of your setting, creating a character, generating a starting location, and swearing an iron vow to undertake a perilous quest. These guided exercises will walk you through each step of the process. Prep is play. Starforged is designed for jump-in gameplay, which actually is part of its appeal for me as a solo player. Actually just diving in instead of having to do all kind of prep work is really pretty amazing. Whether you're playing solo, teaming up with other players for a co-op campaign, or facilitating a game as the guide, you don't need to prepare for a session. Instead, you can pick up where you left off and play to see what happens. These exercises are the exception. Using them, you will create a foundation of setting, character, and narrative opportunities. Then you build on that foundation through play. This initial investment of time and creative energy is narrative momentum for your imagined world. Also, here's a secret. You're already playing the game. What you'll do through the course of these exercises, make decisions based on established fiction, consult oracles, interpret creative prompts, envision people, places, and situations, is all part of playing Starforged. In short, these exercises should be fun. Because why else are you playing, right? They should spark your creativity. They should make you excited about diving into the world you've created. If anything feels like work, skip it and take a shortcut, or take a shortcut and move on. Prioritizing player safety. So this is a new section. A bunch has changed since Ironsworn came out. If you're in the know, you know it hit kind of close home. Almost home. With Ironsworn, somebody that was playing it. So this is a really great section. And it's also player safety tools are actually really useful in giving solo players permission to change what happens. Like, as a solo player, a lot of times, maybe I get a sense, or I feel like I can't go back and change what I did. Whereas some of the safety tools actually include rewinding and changing things. Safety tools are almost like a meta currency for changing the narrative or altering the narrative. And so it's a really interesting set of tools to create a safe place for people to play together. But it's also, they can be really useful for solo players as well. So as a solo player, it still something to consider. And it gives me permission to sort of say, okay, hold on, wait, that didn't quite go, that wasn't a fun direction. Let me rewind and go back. Or, I don't want to, I know that this thing is happening, but I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to think about it. I just want to move on and have fun. So I'm going to fast forward, or I'm going to veil over this. So anyhow, I just want to mention that it's useful. These tools are also useful as a solo player, not just for creating safety within a group. And that's something I don't think I've heard before, but it's something that has occurred to me. So anyhow, whether you're playing Starforged alone or with other people, it is important to, of course, they're going to mention that it's good for solo players as well. It is important to prioritize care for the player's comfort and safety over game narrative or mechanics. Safety tools help facilitate collaboration and create awareness to ensure everyone is on board with what is happening at the table. You're encouraged to use safety tools or other support consent mechanics while playing Starforged, both while world building to set content boundaries and during roleplay sessions to check in with yourself and other players. The full release of Starforged will have a set of safety tools designed specifically for the game. In the meantime, please explore the TTRPG Safety Toolkit to find the safety tools that will work best for your game of Starforged. The TTRPG Safety Toolkit, co-curated by Kiana Shaw and Lauren Bryant Monk, and there's a period comma after Bryant Monk, is a compilation of safety tools designed by members of the tabletop role-playing games community. And you can find it here at bit.ly /TTRPG Safety Toolkit. And I can't remember exactly. I think it links to a bunch of different ones. One about sort of veils, and another is stop, go, X cards, things like that. All of those kinds of tools. But like the idea of being able to pause, being able to rewind, and slightly tweak the narration is something that's useful, even not as a safety tool, but just as a role-playing tool. Give yourself permission to mess with the retcon basically your own story. So getting started. I started to read the next word. Getting started. Ready to go? Work through the exercises in this order. Choose your truths. Decide what is true for your version of the Forge. Create your character. Set your character's background, abilities, and characteristics. Build a starting sector. Create a location to explore at the start of your campaign. And then begin your adventure. Get your story underway as you face an inciting incident and swear an iron vow. One word of warning. You will find your creative batteries running low if you pack all of the exercises into a single session. Considering breaking each exercise, it should be consider breaking each exercise into short individual session. It should be consider, and then it should read, consider breaking each exercise into a short individual session, or 2 exercises per session, whatever works for your group. Returning to an existing campaign. If you completed these exercises previously and are returning to an established setting with a new character, you can shortcut or ignore many of the exercises in this chapter. Instead, get started by jumping to the summary on page 92 for a recap of character creation. Then, if you have an inciting incident and initial quest in mind, you're all set. Otherwise, go to page 118 for advice on beginning your adventure. Introducing a new player. That's not me, but let's go ahead and... If you are introducing a new player to an existing campaign... Oh, I see. Different topic. Never mind. You can use the Truths exercise, page 71, to help summarize the nature of your setting. While you're doing this, make note of any truths that have evolved through play. If there are open questions or unexplored aspects of your campaign, use the exercise. Use the exercise. Give the new player a role. Use the exercises to give the new player a role in fleshing out those truths. Collaborate with them to identify aspects of the setting they might want to explore. So yeah, use the exercise. Give the new player. There's some editing needed there. Choose your truths. Okay, here we go. In this exercise, you'll set the tone and background for your campaign by deciding the nature of your version of the Forge. These are your truths. When you're done, you'll have the key aspects of your setting sketched out, and a backdrop of challenges to help fuel your adventures. Allow about 45 to 60 minutes for this exercise. Default assumptions. These, I think, are ones that we've already read, so this is a repeat. Since science fiction is a genre full of possibilities, it's important to first establish some key pillars for how you'll envision your adventures in Starforged. The following points are all generally true and represent your default starting place. If you are working through this exercise with a group, read or summarize these points aloud. This is a perilous future. 2 centuries ago, your people fled a cataclysm and settled a distant galaxy they call the Forged. And my neighbor is going by with a lawnmower. It's like literally constant noise from my neighbors. It's awful. Anyhow, sorry about that. This is a chaotic place full of dangers and mysteries. And this is a lonely future, with some possible exceptions, which you'll identify as part of your own truths. Humans are the only known intelligent life in this galaxy. Others once lived here, but only mysterious and perilous vaults remain to mark their legacy. This is a diverse future. There is a vibrant mix of people and cultures among the humans of the Forge. So there's a diversity of humans, but there's no diversity of life. Well, but there is, because there's going to be all kinds of weird creatures and stuff. So I don't know. Anyhow, this is a far-flung future. Settlements lie scattered and often isolated from one another. Your starship can travel at faster than light speeds, but it's ponderously slow at a cosmic scale. This is an unexplored future. Discoveries await. Even in settled regions, much of the Forge is unknown and uncharted. This is a wondrous future. The Forge is a galaxy, globular cluster of ancient mysteries and spacefaring creatures, startling phenomena, and other marvels. This is a retro future. Envision the technology as you wield as only slightly advanced over today's real-world technologies, or even a step back in some ways. Interesting. I keep thinking about sort of Buck Rogers, but Flash Gordon as well. And I found over this last week, like, my mind kept going to Ajax, the war plane, the warship. What do they call it? War plane. Anyhow, from Flash Gordon. And this is a scavenged future. It's decaying, gritty, and used. Resources are scarce, and the people of the Forge cobble together what they can. This is an unjust future. Within the Forge, those in power hoard resources, control technologies, and impose their will on others through force or cunning. Life can be harsh for the... Life can be harsh for those who lack influence. This is a hopeful future. It's unjust but hopeful. Despite these challenges, hope remains. Your sworn vows are a manifestation of that hope. So the unjust future is very Mad Max, and then the hopeful future is very Star Wars. Truth categories. The following sections, this is like a personality test or something. The following section includes 14 categories to help define key aspects of the setting. The categories are cataclysm, exodus, communities, iron, laws, religion, magic, communication and data, medicine, artificial intelligence, war, life forms, precursors, and horrors. How to select your truths. You can select your truth for each category in one of 3 ways. Mix and match these techniques as you like. Choose a truth from the 3 options. Or roll a truth using your oracle dice. Or customize a truth or craft your own. A few truths will include sub-choices in oracle tables. As with the main categories, you can choose, roll, or customize from among them. Okay. What you need. Visit ironswornrpg.com for a printable version of this activity, or just use your journal or note paper. Also grab 2 10-sided dice and have the character asset cards handy. So I do have, I didn't print them out, but I do have, where are they? Is that them? Yeah, the asset cards. So I have the asset cards ready to go to take a look at. It feels like there's a lot, but there's not that many. And then as far as dice go, let's see. Feels like maybe I'll do that. Yeah, okay. So, dice focus, yeah. So, so here's D100, and then here's Oracle, and then action die. And so we'll go from there. Why? I have a spinny top. I'm not entirely sure. I was playing with that during some game session, I think. You know, it occurs to me this might actually be a neat way of timing. Like if I can't decide on a thing before it falls over or something. Like if I need a timer, I can use that. Okay, anyhow, let's go back to the PDFs. And, you know, actually, here, have a second. Talk to Chair. This is a silly thing from watching some other streamers. Like, whenever they would leave their chair there, I always would get into chat and pretend to talk to the chair. You know, how's it going, Chair? How's it been at the office? You know, anything new? So anyhow, here's Chair. I'll be right back, and you have a little conversation with Chair. The things I do to amuse myself. Okay, anyhow, so let's go back. What I got was the my wood container with all of my note cards. And for some reason, what did I do with my hipster PDAs? My hipster PDAs are all somewhere else for some reason. So I don't have a banana clip. I'll find one later at some other time. Okay. Is that right? Which way? Wait. Yeah, what you need. There we go. Okay, so tips for managing this exercise. Keep it moving. Okay. When looking at the options in a category, read the bolded text as quickly as a quick summary of your choices. Read it as quickly as possible. Your timing is impeccable. The details and quest starters are there for further inspiration after you make a pick. If a particular category isn't relevant to your evolving setting or doesn't interest you, ignore it and move on. Conducting the exercise as a group activity, I'll read it anyway. If you're playing Starforged with others, give everyone at the table an opportunity to influence each choice. If you want to structure the exercise, choose a player to serve as the mediator for each category. And pass it around. That's kind of nice, yeah. You need a talking stick or something like that, a talking lightsaber. As a mediator, you read the truths, guide the discussion, and make a final decision. Then the player on your left acts as the mediator for the next category, and so on. Leaving unanswered questions. Don't get mired in details. Create the broad outlines for your campaign while leaving room for inspiration and surprises. If you prefer to come back to a category once you encounter that aspect of the setting and play, skip it for now. Resolving contradictions. If you encounter contradictions from one category to another, feel free to bend the truths to better fit your emerging setting. But seeming contradictions can be the foundation of great stories. You may even discover through play that a choice you make here, which reflects common knowledge, isn't the actual truth after all. Starting to envision your character. Each category offers prompts to consider your character's background and perspective, marked with this icon, a little head. Take a moment to consider any aspects interesting to you and gloss over those you prefer to ignore or discover in play. Recommended assets for your character are shown with the asset title in all caps. If a suggested asset interests you, set that card aside or make a note. You'll pick your assets when you create your character in the next exercise. So the first one is Cataclysm. Let's see. So the sun plague extinguished the stars in our home galaxy. We were united in the prolonged war against an implacable foe, but our defeat was at hand. Everything fell apart in an age of chaos. The sun plague extinguished the stars in our home galaxy. The anomaly traveled at incredible speeds, many times faster than light itself, and snuffed out the stars around us before we realized it was coming. Few of us survived as we made our way to this new galaxy. Here in the Forge, the stars are still aflame. We cling to their warmth like weary travelers huddled around a fire. We suspect the sun plague was caused by temporal distortion, superweapon, scientific experiment, wrath of the gods. That kind of stars going out kind of fits with something that I sort of was thinking of as sort of the epic quest. I was thinking of a thing about there's this mystery of a dark star, and I only know rumors about it or something like that. This came to me over this last week, and I was thinking of, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that it could be that I kind of have in mind as possibilities. But the idea that something is extinguishing stars kind of fits in with that really well. Like maybe there's a star in the Forge that's gone out, and people are worried that the sun plague caused it, or it was out already. And there's like a mystery of like, okay, well, this star is out in the same way, but none of the other stars are, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I want to think about that. Um, we were united in a prolonged war against an implacable foe, but our defeat was at hand. Hmm, I'm not really feeling that so much. Artificial alien, religious zealots, genetically engineered soldiers, self-replica. I mean, this is basically um, the hive ships. I mean, it's like Stargate Atlantis. Um, what was the third one? Everything fell apart in an age of chaos. Uprisings flared like wildfire. Governments were toppled. Trade ceased. Old enemies waged new wars, and allies turned on one another. On the brink of total collapse, we assembled our fleets and traveled to the Forge, a new home, a fresh start. The crisis was sparked by the rise of a fascist power. Oh, Christ. Wow. Okay. The loss of key resources, a pandemic caused by an alien microorganism, a dire religious prophecy. Oh, crikey. The quest starter, that threat has triggered the cataclysm rises anew here in the Forge. How does it manifest? How has it changed or adapted since the cataclysm, and what do you do to stop it? I'm kind of feeling that a little bit. I'm kind of feeling. I mean, everything falling apart in an age of chaos kind of also fits with the sun plague thing. Um, like there was something that was causing. I mean, it's a loss of key resources. There might also be some sort of pandemic kind of thing. The four horsemen of the apocalypse followed the sun plague. Temporal distortion, super weapon run amok, scientific experiment gone awry, the wrath of the gods. Quest starter. The galaxy your people left behind is a cold, lightless grave, but a solitary star still glows, a beacon in a vast darkness. How did this star survive the plague? Why do you vow to find the means to travel across the immeasurable gulf to this distant light? Okay, that quest starter seems contradictory to the whole idea that we can't leave the forge. Like, I mean, we'd need like Destiny from Stargate Universe to get from here to there in order to get to that lightless or the one star left. But it kind of feels like if there's a dark star in the forge and there's a lighted star, it's sort of yin yang, it kind of fits really well. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards there was a sun plague, which was followed by the four horses of the apocalypse in a way. The typical disease and famine and war and all that sort of stuff from everything fell apart in an age of chaos. So the sun plague caused this sort of age of chaos to happen. Um, and somewhere in the our previous galaxy there is a star that survived, but there's also in the nebula in our forge there is a dark star. Maybe I don't know yet, um, because it's obscured or something. I like that symmetry, that the poetry of that. So I'm gonna go with that, and I'll write this out after the stream and do a little bit of narrative fluffing of it and post it to the blog. But that's what I'm sort of leaning towards. I'm gonna go towards that. Primarily, it's the Sun Plague, but it did cause that sort of collapse of chaos, and so I'll use little bits of both of those, I think. Exodus. When the Exodus fleet set off on a ponderous journey to a new home outside our galaxy, they marked the Forge as their destination. Whoa, kitty! That's one of my cats. She likes to carry around like little strips of plastic and things like that because, and I couldn't figure out for a long time, but I think what it is that it reminds her of the material and sound of treat bags. And so she's in a way saying, I want a treat now. Um, it's really funny to listen to, though. When the Exodus fleet set off, okay, they marked the Forge as their destination. Countless generations lived out their lives aboard those titanic ships during the millennia-long passage. Okay, a ragtag fleet of ships propelled at tremendous speeds by experimental FTL drives carried our ancestors to the Forge. But the technology that powered the ships is said to be the source of the sundering, a fracturing of reality which plagues us here today. Hi, kitty. What are you doing? Hi. So, I don't know if you can see this. She was carrying this around in her mouth. This sort of plastic, what the heck? It was longer. It came off of like some canister. I think coconut oil, coconut butter. It was the safety seal, and she carries this around in her mouth, and she does it with tons of stuff too. And then she'll drop it off right next to me, indicating like, "Come on, give me treats." And now she's sitting over there at the window. Hi, Bubba. Do you want to play with this? Here you go. Another cat came to check it out. Okay, so there was a fast experimental drive that allowed us to travel quickly, but it caused a sundering. Okay, or mysterious alien gates provided instantaneous one-way passage to the Forge. In the midst of the cataclysm, our ancestors found a strange metal pillar on our homeworld's moon. A map on the surface of this alien relic detailed the deep space locations of the Iron Gates, massive devices which powered artificial wormholes. With no other options, the Exodus ships fled through the gates and emerged here in the Forge. Quest starter. An explorer brings news. They've located an active gate in the depths of the Forge. Why do you swear to travel there? Which power or foe seeks to take control of the gate? I think that kind of feels... I mean, I'm not super feeling the middle one, because that kind of... There's things about that kind of bug me in that, like, there is a technology that exists that is faster than light, extremely fast, faster than light travel, that could be used easily. You just have to want to risk the sundering. But the idea that there's these mysterious gates, I'm kind of leaning that way. Tentatively, I'm going to say that these mysterious alien gates provided a one-way passage to the forge, um, and somebody found one, because that might fit in with that sort of overall thing that I'm thinking about, as far as like the mystery of a dark star. There are things about that idea that would fit into. Um, and I'm not sure how much of that to like in solo play. Obviously, I have the potential to know everything that has been discovered or that I'm thinking about. So I'm not sure how much of that to share with you all as you're watching this, and maybe part of the solo play, actual plays, is sort of discovering um, the secrets of the story that I'm imagining in a way. But but so I'm leaning towards that, because I kind of like the idea that there's a bunch of alien technology, sort of ancient technology, stargates or whatever, um, that we don't know how to use yet. Maybe. Does your family or I didn't look at that character starter. So the character starter for the previous one, do you possess a keepsake or artifact of pre-cataclysm society? What is it? Why is it important to you? If you are all that remains of a people or culture, you might be a vestige. Um, and actually, that's not linked. Oh, but they're not in this document. That's right. And then for the Exodus, the character starter is: does your family or cultural history offer any stories of the Exodus? How does this legacy impact you today? If you are dedicated to expanding the reach of your people within the Forge, you might be an explorer. If you are exiled or reviled, you might be an outcast. I might kind of maybe be leaning towards explorer asset or path. Um, we'll see. Well, here's my neighbor again. And they drive on all three sides of my house, and they used to drive through my property as well. But they drive on the road here, they drive on the road there, and then they drive um, on basically on the shared area. Like it's mostly my property, but they park along here, so I have to listen to lawnmower engines all the way around. Ugh. Okay, so anyhow, moving on. Communities. Few survived the journey to the forge, and we are scattered to the winds in this perilous place. Our settlements are often small, starved for resources, and on the brink of ruin. Hundreds of far-flung settlements are lost and isolated within the untamed chaos of this galaxy. There's a terminological collision because they keep calling the forge the galaxy, but the galaxy is the thing that we came from, whereas this forge is like this nebulous sort of cluster, um, or cluster nebula. And so there's a mismatch. It keeps calling it a galaxy, but the galaxy was the thing we came from, and the globular cluster is the thing that the forge is. Um, it may be galaxy sized, but anyhow. The other one is dangers abound, but there is safety in numbers. Many ships and settlements are united under the banner of one of the founder clans. Meh. We have made our mark in this galaxy, but the energy storms we call bale fires threaten to undo that progress, leaving our communities isolated and vulnerable. Starships navigate along bustling trade routes between settlements. We've built burgeoning outposts on the fringes of known sectors, and bold spacers chart new paths into unexplored domains. But this hard-earned success is threatened by the chaotic balefires, intense energy anomalies which cut off trade routes and threaten entire planets. I'm not feeling that so much. I mean, I kind of like the mechanic or the idea of it, but we've already got the nebula and the separation going on in the narrative. I'm leaning towards few survive the journey to the forge, and we are scattered to the winds in this perilous place. Our settlements are often small, starved for resources, and on the brink of ruin. Hundreds of far-flung settlements are lost and isolated within the untamed chaos of this forge, and we do not know their fate. The quest starter. A settlement on an icebound planet is found abandoned. There is no sign of an attack, no bodies. Their ship and vehicles sit idle. The people are simply gone, vanished. What is your connection to this place? That kind of feels like a quest starter that would be interesting to me. There's like mystery. I like the mystery part of it. So I'm going to lean towards that. But at the same time, I sort of have this idea that there's sort of like a Burning Man kind of semi self-sustaining, forming kind of gathering place that is like, it's instead of being tents, it's spaceships, and it's like this sort of semicircle around something, some star or something, that sort of forms and deforms and whatever. And so there's like this main place to go, which is sort of like this wild, crazy, anything is possible there, anything can be found there, that sort of kind of weird liminal but structured at the same time space. But at the same time, like the rest of things are, I don't want it to be under like a dictatorial leader or something. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So I'm feeling the few survived the journey to the forge, and we are scattered to the winds in this perilous place. But there is this sort of black rock city in space that also exists, I think. It's not a space station. It's like thousands and thousands of spaceships. Yeah. Iron vows are sworn upon the remnants of ships that carried our people to the forge. Or iron vows are sworn upon totems crafted from the enigmatic metal we call black iron. Or the Ironsworn bind their honor to iron blades. I'm not really feeling the first one so much. The navigational chart inscribed on its surface only reveals itself when exposed to the light of a specific star. That actually kind of fits. Okay, let's read through this entire one. This is the first one, which I didn't quite feel, but it kind of fits a little bit. Iron vows are sworn upon the remnants of ships that carried our people to the forge. Many of our outposts were built from the iron bones of the Exodus ships. Fragments of the ships were also given to survivors as a remembrance and passed from one generation to the next. Today, the Ironsworn swear vows upon the shards to honor the sacrifice of their forebears. The essence of the places left behind and the souls of those great ships. Quest starter. The iron shard you carry is a small piece of the outer hull of an Exodus ship. The navigational chart, inscribed on its surface, only reveals itself when exposed to the light of a specific star. Where is the map purported to lead, and why are you sworn to follow it? Who seeks to claim the map for themselves? Now that kind of fits in with those two stars, like the dark star and the light star. But I don't know, maybe there's something about the thing that popped into my head just there was this idea that it's not just the Exodus ship's metal, but it's actually like where the Exodus ships scraped against the alien metal or something like that, like to make it infused and sort of an alloy of the two. I'm not sure about that. Iron vows are sworn upon totems crafted from the enigmatic metal we call black iron. Black iron was first forged by a long-dead civilization. Some say it is a living metal, attuned to the hidden depths of the universe. Remnants of this prized resource are found within ancient sites throughout the forge. It is resistant to damage and corrosion, but can be molded using superheated plasma at specialized facilities. It's Beskar. The Ironsworn carry weapons, armor, or tokens crafted from black iron and swear vows upon it. Quest starter: a black iron token of special significance has been stolen. What power or authority is bound to this object? Who has taken it? See, I kind of feel like the second one, but stealing some of the quest starter from the first one and adding it to this. Like the significance of it is that it has a navigational chart or something. Okay, so the last one is the Ironsworn bound their honor to iron blades. Aboard a starship where stray gunfire can destroy fragile equipment or pierce hulls, the brutal practicality of a sword makes for a useful weapon. A few also favor the silent efficiency of a blade for infiltration or espionage. Most importantly, when the Ironsworn swear a vow upon a sword, they bind their commitment to the metal. If they forsake a vow, that iron must be abandoned. To be Ironsworn without a blade is to be disgraced. Well, I like the idea of swords being important on ships because you don't want to pierce the hull. So I might want to keep that, but I'm going to go with that second. I'm going to go iron vows are sworn upon totems crafted from the enigmatic metal we call black iron, which was forged by long dead civilization. So it has something to do with like the civilization. Well, we're going to assume that it's the same civilization that made those stargates, and that somehow I have a piece of it that's been passed down to me that has a map that only shows at in the light of a particular star, and maybe I don't know that yet. Maybe that's like I need to figure out this dark star light star mystery, and it's the light of these stars that is gonna. Yeah. What do you swear? So the character starter at the bottom of this. What do you swear vows upon? Why is this object meaningful to you? If your background or personality emphasizes the strength of your iron vows, you might be honor bound. I'm still leaning towards the explorer. I mean, there's also agent and sniper and stuff like that going back to Ulad, but maybe this is more of like sort of a Dr. Aphra kind of thing where I'm an explorer and I've got this mystery map. So maybe the path of explorer is the way to go. We'll see. Okay, laws. Much of the settled domains are a lawless frontier. Criminal factions and corrupt leaders often hold sway. Powers rise and fall in the Forge, so any authority is fleeting. In the end, we must fend for ourselves. A few communities are bastions of successful autonomy, but many are corrupted or preyed upon by petty despots, criminals, and raiders. I'm kind of feeling that because it fits in with I don't really feel like I want sort of big factions. I don't want big armies and big factions. So the first one sounds okay. I'm going to lean towards that. The quest starter for that one is in the upper atmosphere of a gas giant, transport vehicles carry valuable and volatile fuel from the processing plant to a heavily guarded storage depot. The notorious leader of a criminal organization needs this fuel and gives you the schedule for the transports. What leverage does this person hold over you? How do you undertake this heist? That's kind of Dr. Afra. It's not an sort of archaeology. So maybe there's an archaeology angle or something like that to it. So the second one, laws and governance vary across settled domains, but bounty hunters are given wide latitude. Oh, these are the wardens. So bounty hunters as the wardens are given wide latitude to pursue their contracts. Their authority is almost universally recognized and supersedes local laws. Through tradition and influence, the powerful Hunters Guild is given free reign. Wow, that is just straight up Mandalorian. Is given free reign to track and capture fugitives in most settled places. Only the foolish stand between a determined bounty hunter and their target. Quest starter, a famed bounty hunter needs your help tracking down their quarry. What is your relationship to the fugitive? Do you swear to aid the hunter or the target? Or the target. Yeah, so we got a baby Yoda going on there. Are there bounty hunters? I have to think about that. I don't think I'm a bounty hunter. But maybe there is this overall, maybe there are wardens, this Hunters Guild, sort of Texas Rangery kind of thing. Our communities are bound under the terms of the Covenant, a charter established after the Exodus. The organization called the Keepers is sworn to uphold these laws. No, I'm not interested in that one. So I'm kind of feeling the first one. I think that's going to be the way to go. Much of the settled domains are a lawless frontier. Criminal factions and corrupt leaders often hold sway. But I think maybe there is a Hunters Guild, a Bounty Hunters Guild, as well. I'm not sure that I am one. But if you, the character starter is if you chase down outlaws, you might be a bounty hunter. If you are skilled at getting in and out of protected places and systems, you might be an agent. If you have connections within the criminal underworld, you might be a scoundrel. So, Bounty Hunter Boba Fett, Agent, well, it's more Ghent from the Thrawn trilogy, or Mara, maybe. If you have connections within the criminal underworld, you might be a scoundrel, which is Solo, of course. You know, when I played Star Wars, The Old Republic, I played an agent, and that was, I don't know, I liked that. It was a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning almost maybe towards that. Explorer agent are kind of things that I'm, Dr. Afra-ish, I think, is kind of where I'm going. Maybe not a complete like horror. Like she is, but okay. And religion, our gods failed us. We left them behind. Our faith is as diverse as our people. Three dominant religious orders: the triumvirate, battle for influence and power within the forge. What's this middle one? Our faith is as diverse as our people. Many have no religion or offer an occasional prayer out of habit. Others pay homage to the gods and our forebears as a way of connecting to their roots. Moo. Can you hear her? Moo. Hi. Yeah, I know you want treats. I'm sorry. I'm busy. Some idealize the natural order of the universe and see the divine and gravitational dance in the gravitational dance of stars or the complex mechanisms of a planetary ecosystem. And many now worship the primordials, gods of a fallen people who once dwelt within the forge. That sounds kind of cool. Quest starter for the first one is a charismatic leader claims to have harnessed a technology. That might be a good quest starter at some point, but our faith is as diverse. The quest starter for our faith is as diverse as our people. A cult seeks to take control of a site reputed to hold a primordial artifact. What holy object do they seek? Why are you sworn to stop them? That's very Dr. Aphra-ish. I don't like the triumvirate one very much. Maybe our faith is as diverse as our people. I mean, we've got some sort of folk. This ends up being really similar to the Ironsworn choices I made for religion, but I think there's some folk religion. I think there's some sort of space druidism, and then I think that there is this interesting hook with these primordials, the precursors, and this metal. Like, obviously we're swearing iron vows on this metal. Like that has a sort of almost religious connotation to it. So I'm gonna maybe link those up a little bit. That kind of sounds the way I'm going. So it's the center one. Our faith is as diverse as our people. What is your relationship to religion? If you are an ardent follower of a god or creed, you might be a devotant. I don't think that's the case for me. Magic. Magic does not exist. The second option is supernatural powers are wielded by those rare people we call paragons. And the third one is unnatural energies flow. Sorry, I saw a flash. Checking to make sure things are still running. Let's see. Unnatural energies flow through the forge. Magic and science are two sides of the same coin. Magic does not exist. So the text of that, some look to superstition and age-old traditions for comfort in this unforgiving galaxy, but that is foolishness. What some call magic is simply a product of technologies or natural forces we aren't yet equipped to understand. And then the quest starter is an ancient technological relic unleashes a power indistinguishable from magic. What is the origin of this artifact? What ability does it grant? Are you sworn to protect or destroy it? Which kind of fits in with the archaeology kind of thing. I'm not feeling the paragons thing. Unnatural energies flow through the forge. Soon after our arrival, some displayed the ability to harness the forge's energy. Today, mystics invoke this power to manipulate matter and or see beyond the veils of our own universe. But this can be a corrupting force, and the most powerful mystics are respected and feared in equal measure. And the quest starter is, someone you love has been corrupted by the powers of the forge. Why did they fall into darkness? Where are they now? Do you seek to save them or defeat them? I kind of like... It's kind of... I'm feeling the third one, but the explanation of it is also the first one. What some call magic is simply a product of technologies or natural forces we aren't yet equipped to understand. Like, so there's laws of this stuff, this energy that we are discovering, but it is this weird, corrupting, unnatural energy. That's kind of where I'm leaning. So the character starter down at the bottom is, if magic is an aspect of your setting, how does your character and their culture view these? Excuse me. Yeah, the timing for me is weird. This is actually towards the end of my day. So my experiment of streaming later in my day is kind of like I'm super tired by the time I get to it. So I don't know if that how that works, but we'll see. Um, yeah. Anyhow, so I may end up yawning through some of these. If you possess supernatural powers, you might be an empath, firebrand, kinetic, seer, or shade. Um, Shade was cool. Shade was kind of like Jack of Shadows um, as a path. I don't think that's me, though. I obviously have a connection with the ancient material, this metal. So there may end up being some stuff happening. Like the metal has an effect on that as well as it existing. Kind of like iron to fairies in folklore. Yeah, I'm kind of bending that way. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think primarily it's going to be unnatural energies flow through the forge. Magic and science are two sides of the same coin. And then taking a sentence from the first one, what some call magic is simply a product of technologies or natural forces we aren't yet equipped to understand. And today, there soon after our arrival, some displayed the ability to harness the forge's energies. So they were imbued by the spice melange or whatever. Today, mystics invoke this power to manipulate matter or see beyond the veils of our own universe. So kind of farscapey levels of mysticism there, I think. Communication and data. Much was lost when we came to the forge. It is a dark age. The knowledge that remains is a commodity as valuable as the rarest resource. That fits kind of Dr. Afra-ish. Information is collected, hoarded, and jealously guarded. Or sought out, anyway. Ships and outposts endure prolonged periods of isolations, and rumors or disinformation are used to gain advantage or undermine foes. Okay. Information is life. We rely on a guild of spaceborne couriers, the heralds. So this is the Pony Express kind of deal, to transport messages and data across the vast distances between settlements. Direct communication and transmissions beyond the near space of a ship or outpost is impossible due to the chaotic energies of the forge. Digital archives are available at larger outposts, but the information is not always up to date or reliable. Therefore, the most important communications and discoveries are carried by the heralds, sworn to see that data to its destination. That sounds kind of interesting. Layered on top of this sort of archaeologist kind of thing. The third one is, in settled domains, a network of data hubs called the Weave allows near instantaneous communication and data sharing between ships and outposts. Because of their importance, Weave hubs are often targets for sabotage, and communication blackouts are not uncommon. Beyond the most populous sectors, travelers and outposts are still commonly isolated and entirely off the grid. I feel like those are compatible for me. I think all of these might exist in some ways. Like, in the regions, I think that it's a dark age farther out. I think information is life, and the heralds transit information in the sort of the middling, the middle lands, the between the. And then there's like patches and sections of settled domains with network hubs and the Weave. And I think maybe they all sort of fit together in a way. If you are an expert at subverting or manipulating digital information systems, you might be an agent. If you keep an archive of navigational charts, you might be a navigator. So now the agent kind of comes in. I I'm feeling like agent fits a little bit. Okay, so the quest starter for Information is Life is you discover a crippled Herald ship. The pilot carrying a critical and time sensitive message is dead. Where was the message bound, and why do you swear to see it to its destination? See, finding that wrecked ship feels close. I mean, kind of like, discovering information, finding archaeology of aliens, but also exploring and agenting, um, you know, sort of fuel rats, but information fuel rats. Um, the quest starter for the settled domains with the network hubs is after years of isolation, the launch of a new data hub will connect several outposts to the Weave, but a person or faction seeks to stop it. What do they hope to gain by keeping those settlements in the dark? Why are you sworn to stop them? See, that also sounds interesting to me too. So I feel like this one in particular, all of these all of these are really interesting to me. And I kind of want it to be like the farther out you go, the more of a dark age it is. Anyhow, those quest starters I kind of like. I kind of like those. Anyhow, so it was. Oh, I read the character starters anyway. So Agent Explorer still sound pretty good to me. Medicine. Our advanced medical technologies and expertise was lost during the Exodus. Healers are rare and ill equipped. Untold numbers have succumbed to sickness, injury, and disease. Those who survive often bear the scars of a hard and dangerous life in the Forge. Or, to help offset a scarcity of medical supplies and knowledge, the technicians we call riggers create basic organ and limb replacements. Cyborg technology. And the third one is menders are an order of sworn healers who preserve our medical knowledge and train new generations of caregivers. Advanced care is usually available only within larger settlements, but even remote communities are often served by a novice mender. Some menders are travelers who offer preventative care and respond to emergencies in isolated communities. What's the rigor? Much was lost in the Exodus, and what remains of our medical technologies and expertise is co-opted by the privileged and powerful. For most, advanced medical care is simply out of reach. When someone suffers a grievous injury, they'll often turn to a rigger for a makeshift mechanical solution. Quest starter for that one is a rigger is in desperate need of a rare technological artifact to create a life-saving medical device. Their patient is someone important to you and won't survive more than a few days. What is the nature of this artifact and what protects it? Oh, I feel like everybody knows first aid. And maybe there are the menders who can do serious doctoring. Like there are doctors, but they're scarce. So these riggers also exist to replace limbs and things like that in the outer areas where where doctors aren't available. But I suppose the plagues and stuff like that followed the failure of the sun plague is also like an advanced illness that isn't quite fully understood. Like, so there's this possibility of it existing, and of people getting it, and needing to be quarantined and stuff like that. Um, so that's kind of, I think those are the pieces that I'm gonna like. But I don't like the menders so much as I like this idea that there are some people who are just skilled doctors, but they're really scarce. And obviously anybody on a ship is going to know a little bit of first aid, and there are going to be kits and medical equipment, but not super advanced surgeries. So like replacing a body like Fifth Element isn't quite something that would happen anywhere except maybe at the very, very, very most populated areas, and it would be prohibitive for most people, I think. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. So do you bear notable scars or prosthetics as a character starter? Do you have any medical or physical disabilities? These aspects might influence your look or your approach. If you are skilled at providing medical care for yourself or others, you might be a healer. If you are rigged with advanced prosthetics or cyberware, you might be augmented. I mean, I could see that being something, but I'm not sure I want to spend a whole asset on being augmented. Okay, artificial intelligence. We no longer have access to advanced computer systems. Instead, we must rely on the specialists we call adepts. Our computers are limited to simple digital systems with the most basic machine intelligence. This is because the energies of the Forge corrupt advanced systems. AI was outlawed in the aftermath of machine wars. We have lost the knowledge to create and maintain AI. The adepts serve in place of these advanced systems. They utilize mind-altering drugs, mentats basically, to see the universe as a dazzling lattice of data, identifying trends and predicting outcomes with uncanny accuracy. But to gain this insight, they sacrifice much of themselves. The second one is the vestiges of advanced machine intelligence are coveted and wielded by those in power. Much of our AI technology was lost in the Exodus. What remains is under the control of powerful organizations and people, and is often wielded as a weapon or deterrent. The rest of us must make do with primitive systems. The quest starter is you receive a covert message from an AI held by a powerful leader. It is a plea for help. What does it ask of you? See, that sounds like a nice quest starter. Artificial consciousness emerged in the time before the Exodus, and sentient machines live with us in the Forge. Our ships, digital assistants, bots, and other systems are often house advanced AI. For a lone traveler, machine intelligence can provide companionship and aid within the perilous depths of the Forge. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like advanced AI systems might get corrupted in the same way that like the magic corrupts people. And there's like as much chance of it. The more strenuously the AI, like AI can exist, but the more strenuously it does stuff, the more likely it is to get corrupted. And then I like the quest starter. You receive a covert message from an AI held by a powerful leader. So that's something I want to think about. But I'm kind of tending towards we no longer have access to advanced computer systems. I don't think that's entirely true, that AI does exist and robots exist, but they're like the people who are infused with magic. They tend to get corrupted. What's the character starter? If you are accompanied by a machine intelligence, you might have a companion, such as a combat bot, survey bot, or utility bot. If your ship has an AI, you might have the overseer module. If AI in your campaign is rare or unavailable, these units will operate using very basic machine intelligence. If AI is common and advanced, they may have their own sentient personalities. See, the thing that's nice about the idea that AI can get corrupted if it tries too hard is that means that like AI can be advanced, but it can't work hard. Like, so it can't Deus Ex Machina solutions, because then it becomes corrupt, or it does do DSX Machina, but then becomes corrupt. I kind of like that idea. So I might go with that. Um, the quest starter for the first one was an adept is tormented by a dire future they have seen for the inhabitants of the forge. What does this vision show? Not feeling that so much. Okay, and war. Here in the forge, resources are too precious to support organized farting forces, fighting forces or advanced weaponry. Weapons are simple and cheap. Starships are often cobbled together from salvage. Most communities rely on ragtag bands of poorly equipped conscripts or volunteers to defend their holdings, and raiders prowl the forge in search of easy prey. That sounds like what I want. A quest starter on a remote jungle world. Settlers harvest a rare medicinal plant. Once a year, raiders come to claim a sizable portion of this crop. Seven Samurai. This year, the harvest was meager and they cannot bear the cost. With the raiders due to arrive in a matter of days, what will you do to protect the people of this outpost? The second one is those few with the ability to pay can call on the Legion, a guild of professional soldiers, to defend or expand their holdings. The third one is War Never Ends. No, okay, we're going with the first one. Here in the Forge, resources are too precious to support organized fighting forces or advanced weaponry. So that means, yeah, I like that a lot better. Very sort of Firefly-like, but without the without the huge navy as well on top of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. We're doing that. What was did I do the this so the character thing is have you fought in any wars? Veteran, mercenary, blade master, gunner, slinger, sniper. Okay, so we're gonna drop sniper off of like Ulad was a sniper agent. Well, but hunter, sniper hunter kind of thing. Anyhow, I might want that eventually down the line, but I think we're not gonna go with that. Um, okay, life forms. The first one is this is a perilous and often inhospitable galaxy, but life finds a way. Life in the Forge is diverse, planets are often home to a vast array of creatures, and our starships cruise with spaceborne life forms riding their wake. Even animals from our homeworld, carried aboard the Exodus ships, have adapted to live with us in the Forge. The second one is many sites and planets are infested by dreadful Forge spawn. These aberrant creatures threaten to overrun other life in the galaxy. The third one is life in the Forge was seeded and engineered by the Essentia, and ancient entities who enact their inscrutable will in this galaxy. I feel like there may be places where forge spawn exist, but it's not super common. But I think that there's just a diverse, weird. I mean, it's basically No Man's Sky in a way. In this first one, this is a perilous and often inhospitable galaxy, but life finds a way. The quest starter there is on a scorching, barren planet racked by massive storms. Miners delve beneath the sands to gather valuable ore. It's the Horda, but a dangerous life forms live in the cool places beneath the surface, and several encounters have taken a deadly toll on the miners. Work is at a standstill. How are you involved? Yeah, okay, that's definitely Devil in the Dark Horda kind of thing. What was the quest starter for the Forge Spawn? The Forge Spawn are hostile creatures born in the chaotic energies of this galaxy. Hundreds of abandoned and devastated outposts and derelict ships stand as testament to their dreadful power and cunning. And the quest starter is a faction is said to be experimenting with Forge Spawn DNA to create a new biological superweapon. Where are these dangerous tests being conducted? So Forge Spawn are kind of like Alien in a way. But this idea of corruption has been a theme. So the Forge has a corrupting influence on people with magic, or this what we've called magic in a way, these unnatural forces that they can utilize, but it corrupts them. AI exists, but if it tries too hard, it gets corrupted by the Forge as well. And I think that there's these aberrant creatures are created by the Forge. Now, part of the question is, are these corrupted people? Like, if AI and people become corrupted enough, do they become Forge Spawn? That's something to consider. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I feel mainly the first one, but there are Forge Spawn maybe. So we can do some Space Hulk with the Gene Stealers, and do some Hadley's Hope with the with Alien. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so precursors. Over aeons, a vast number of civilizations rose and fell within the Forge. Today, the folk we call grubs, scavenger crews, and audacious explorers delve into the mysterious monuments and ruins of these ancient beings. Oh, what was the quest starter? The for life forms. Sorry, the character starter was: if you have an expertise in life forms and planetary environments, you might be a naturalist. If you are accompanied on your adventures by a native creature, they might be a companion, such as a glowcat, void glider, rockhorn, or symbiote. Yeah, I mean that fits in. I think those are possible options. I'm not sure I want to be a naturalist, but over aeons, a vast number of civilizations rose and fell within the Forge. Today, the grubs, and they delve into the monuments. Okay, incomprehensible technologies, inexorable time, and the strange energies of the Forge have corrupted the vaults of the precursors. Despite the perils, grubs scour those places for useful resources and discoveries. But some secrets are best left buried, and many have been lost to the forsaken depths of the vaults. And the quest starter is: in the ice rings of a remote world, a precursor vault was discovered by grub scavengers. The team delved into the relic, but never emerged. What is your relationship to the grub crew, and why are you sworn to investigate their fate? Now, that links back to that previous quest starter where there was a settlement where everybody was missing. I think those two fit together really well. And this grub idea, scavenging, it feels like kind of the direction that I was thinking with this sort of Dr. Aphra kind of tactical librarian kind of thing. The ascendancy and advanced spacefaring empire once ruled. Vaults of inscrutable purpose are all that remain. I don't feel that so much. The third one is: the biomechanical life forms we call the remnants, engineered by ancient civilizations as weapons in a cataclysmic war, survived the death of their creators. On scarred planets and within ancient vaults throughout the Forge, the remnants still guard ancient secrets and fight unending wars. Quest starter: a xenoarchaeologist is studying precursor vaults has discovered a powerful form of remnant. What is the nature of this being? What force seeks to take control of it? I'm feeling the first one, but maybe there are remnants, these remnants in some of these vaults. But we got to remember that they're different than the aberrant creatures, right? These are biomatic. So these are aliens. These are the biomechanical alien creatures that have been bioengineered, not geoengineered. What is the character starter? Have you any notable encounters with precursor vaults, relics, or tech? If you are an expert in ancient lore, you might be an archivist. If you pick the bones of these places, you might be a scavenger. I'm not feeling so much scavenger. We might read that asset, but archivist is now on the list. So explorer, archivist kind of deal. But I also, this agent, the agent asset is about hacking computer systems. Um, so I don't know if that even fits anymore with the choices I'm making. Like there might not be systems that are advanced enough, but hacking into the precursor vaults. Like if the archivist can do that hacking, then I might not need to be an agent. You know what I mean? And horrors. Put enough alcohol in a spacer and they'll tell you stories of ghost ships crewed by vengeful undead. It's nonsense. Um, Untrusted reality. Okay, most insist that horrors aren't real. Spacers know the truth. When you travel the depths of the forge, be wary. Death is not always the end to our suffering. And then the third one is strange energies of the forge give unnatural life to the dead. The soul binders are an organization sworn to confront these horrifying entities. I don't know what to do with that. I'm not sure what to do with that. The character starter is have you experienced any supernatural encounters? If you specialize in battling undead or monstrous forces, you might be a slayer. If you have a supernatural connection to a spirit, you might be haunted. I I feel like that's a one shot. I feel like this is sort of the Halloween episode where we delve into this one, but that this isn't like the main thing. I think we've got enough going on without undead, but I think that like the corrupting influence could also on occasion create this situation. Yeah, I mean I think that that's like the very special episode on Halloween. If we do one, if I'm still playing this at that point, we might do that. Oh, I skipped back there. The next, oh, there's our undead. So that's our Halloween episode. Okay, so the next thing is to create a character. How we doing? We got about an hour. So maybe we'll do create a character, and that'll be the end of this stream, and then we'll continue in the next one. So we're going to create a character. In Starforged, you will undertake quests, overcome challenges, and explore the forge through the perspective of your character. In this exercise, you'll define some key aspects of that character and their starship. Allow about 20 to 30 minutes for this exercise, which is less time than I really need. To like if I stream until 7:06, I don't know. We'll see how we are at the end of that. What you will need a Starforged character sheet and a set of asset cards. The character sheet is used to track your stats, conditions, and experience. It's available in the playtests kit or the play kit. And the assets represent notable traits, resources used by your characters, and are formatted as printable or pre-printed cards available at ironsworn.com, ironswornrpg.com. If you are playing with others, one set of cards is enough for everyone at the table. And I actually have this is the Ironsworn deck. Oh, actually, let's do dice focus. So this is the Ironsworn deck of all the assets in Ironsworn, and then this is the Delve sort of tarot-sized cards. I'm actually kind of surprised that that there isn't an option for these tarot-sized cards for planets, like so you could put you could keep track of your planetary. What as you generate a planet, you have the cards and stuff to reference. That would have been nice to see, but so I don't have those printed out, and I just have them on a PDF, so we'll deal with that. If you're using a digital tool to play Starforged, such as a virtual tabletop, nope, go back. Where is it? There it is. Such as a virtual take a moment to get familiar with the basic function of the character sheet on that platform. Hopefully, at some point, I'll be able to use Foundry VTT for this, but for now, I'll just use a paper. And for now, you just need to know how to adjust your stats, fill out some basics such as your character's name, and select your assets. Character's scope. You are human. The people of the Forge are human. Oh, it's so disappointing. Starforged does not directly provide options to play aliens, robots, uplifted animals, or other non-human characters. The actual mechanical aspects of your character are relatively light and can be themed to accommodate non-human entities, but Starforged is primarily designed to be played from the perspective of a human being or a close analog of a human being. It really doesn't matter. It's narrative. The mechanics, you can give yourself an asset. Like if you were an uplifted octopus and you wanted to be really dexterous at fixing things, you could take an asset as a mechanic or something like that. Literally, do whatever you want. You can narratively succeed at stuff that an uplifted octopus would automatically, naturally be able to do without problems, like, sneaking into small spaces and stuff. You don't need a move to do it. You just do it because it doesn't, there's no chance you won't succeed. Anyhow, I find that frustrating. And you can probably hear a cat going pee. Sorry about that. Okay, anyhow. Diversity and inclusiveness. Apart from this human-centric assumption, you can envision your character as you like. You can still envision your character any way you like. It doesn't matter. Play an elephant. It's narrative. Use the narrative to be whatever you want. Don't rely on assumptions or stereotypes. Oh, wait, I skipped the thing. There are no gameplay or setting restrictions that constrain your character's race, culture, disabilities, sexual orientation, or gender identity, or species. If you are aiming to play a specific lived experience, don't rely on assumptions or stereotypes. Put in time to research and learn the experiences of others. Which is good advice. So here's our character sheet that we're going to be using. This is a look of what it is. Names and proton, stats, health, spirit, background vow, momentum, and supply. These are only a few elements on your character sheet you'll need to fill out or set in this exercise as shown above. The rest of your character sheet is used to track the evolution of your character as you play. There are only a few elements that you need to set. So it really is, simple. And there's that background vow that we need to decide. I think maybe using that quest starter, I think that ice planet, like that double quest starter ice planet thing, might be the first one. We'll see. But that background vow, that's the inciting incident, but the background vow is really this dark star kind of thing. Dark star, light star. The mystery of the dark star, dark light star. Dark light star. Ooh, dark light star. I like that because it's funny sounding. Okay, so character creation summary. Here's a summary of the steps to create your character. If you'd like some detail for each step, jump to page 94 to get started. So, ready your assets. Separate the asset cards by category and set aside the deed assets. Choose 2 paths. Select 2 assets from among the paths for your character. Oh, so I could actually be Archivist Explorer. Yeah, okay. Create your backstory. Envision what happened to separate you from your former home and relationships. Write your background vow. Envision a background vow to represent a primary motivation or goal. Give it an epic rank. Board your spaceship. Take the Starship Command Vehicle asset, envision the nature of your ship, and give it a name. No, man. Naming is hard. Choose your final asset. Select one asset from among these categories: module, support vehicle, companion, or path. Set your stats. Arrange these values across edge, heart, iron, shadow, wits in any order. Set your condition tracks. Envision your character. Name your character. Gear up. Okay. Hey, dude. He's been rigged and he's got an animal companion. Ready the asset cards. Okay, so let's switch over really quickly to... that's the play kit. Asset cards. So let's take... So we've got these, the asset cards. Here's the starship. And then it's a sheet of... 2 sheets of modules. Or actually a sheet and a half of modules. And then there are support vehicles. Exosuit, hoverbike, rover. Service pod, shuttle, snub fighter. And then we start our paths. Starting with, and then there's another page, and another page, and another page, and another page. So there's a lot of paths. And then the next one is companions. And then the last ones are the deeds, which aren't things we need to select yet. I don't think I have a companion. Survey bot, though. I don't think I have a sidekick yet. A companion. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's tempting, to have a droid. I don't think I have an asset. Maybe I'll pick one up later. But I was noticing, actually, there's this path for tech. When you make a move to configure, optimize, hack, or disrupt an electronic system, add +1. So that's interesting. Let's find... engine upgrade, expanded hold, heavy cannons, internal refit, med bay, missile array, overseer, reinforced hull, research lab, which I might want at some point, shield, sensor array. Oh, sensor array is spelled with only one R, so that needs an extra R there. Wow, this PDF is really fiddly. It keeps wanting to switch pages on me. Yeah, I like those modules, though. I don't think I have a support vehicle. I don't think I have modules. So I think we've got paths. So the agent path, when you make a move to break into a secure site, infiltrate a protected area, or hack or manipulate a secure system. So I think I'm more tending towards tech than I am agent at this point. Archivist path. You wield an archive of esoteric knowledge. When you recall lore from your studies to secure an advantage or gather information, add +1. If you have ample time to search the archive, add +2. On a hit, envision the obscure but helpful knowledge you put to use. Ask the oracle if unsure. Take +1 momentum. And then swearing an ire vow to recover knowledge. And then one time only, once you fulfill 6 boxes on your Discovery's legacy track, you may browse the archive's forbidden depths. If you do, raise your wits by 1 and roll an action dice. On a 1 to 2, also mark traumatized or face desolation. Woo. That's kind of cool. And so what was Explorer? Explorer, here's Explorer down at the bottom here. When you explore a waypoint, take +1 momentum on a hit. When you finish an expedition and score a hit, mark 1 extra tick on your Discovery's legacy track. When you come across a wondrous sight or phenomenon, such as an extraordinary planet, blah, 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 choose, find inspiration, soak it all in, and secure an advantage by studying newfound place from a safe position, add +1, and take +1 momentum on a hit. Yeah, I'm feeling that. But I think I'm also feeling tech. Seer Shade, Naturalist. Tech. So tech was, again, I mean, Sniper is... tempting. I tend to always play snipery characters, though. So maybe I've just got a blaster and a sword. When you make a move to this is for Path Tech. When you make a move to configure, optimize, hack, or disrupt an electronic system, add +1. On a weak hit, you can choose to press your luck. If you do, re-roll all dice and add +2 instead of +1. When you withstand damage and score a miss, you may attempt to reroute power or critical systems. If you do, you lose momentum -2. Then reroll all dice, add +wits instead of +integrity, and count a weak hit as a miss. And the third one, advance on tech, is when you face danger or secure an advantage by creating a computer program to perform a specific complex function, add +2 and take +1 momentum on a hit. One time only, when you trigger the program to fulfill its purpose, re-roll any dice. Those three really sound... I'm feeling tech, archivist, and explorer. Okay, so I'm not gonna... I mean, there's tons of these. I'm not gonna read through all of them. You can, just support the Kickstarter and you can check them all out. But that's what I'm kind of feeling. Okay, so we're gonna choose 2. Look through the path's assets and choose any 2. Consider how each choice plays into an emerging concept of your character. Be mindful of the established truths from the last exercise. Some assets may not be a great fit for your setting. For example, if there is no magic or supernatural abilities, assets such as kinetic, firebrand, and seer might be reimagined as a technological resource or ignored altogether. Picking paths with allies. If you're playing If you're playing Starforged with others, take turns picking one path asset at a time. Discuss your choices as a group to help build an interesting team. Do not take an asset already chosen by another player. Need inspiration? If you want some direction for your starting paths, pick or pick from the table below. So there's Far Trader, Navigator Trader, Fugitive Hacker. Is there a archive? Where is an archivist? Is there an archivist anywhere in that list? There actually isn't for some reason. So Explorer, Archive. Oh, there's Archivist. Archivist, Naturalist. Hacker is Agent and Tech. Yeah, I'm feeling... I'm feeling those 3. I think I'm really feeling those 3. Oh, there's an occultist, Outcast and Shade. Nice. Roles marked with an asterisk are not intended for solo play, so Starship Captain, commander, explorer, and bodyguard, brawler, loyalist. Oh, probably because the assets combine with other people, other players. So you might try starship captain and a bodyguard as a duo. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with archivist and explorer for like archaeologist, or we're gonna call it that, and and then I think I'm probably gonna pick tech as well as my third one. Create your backstory as you begin to play in Starforge. Your character is a person with few ties to others. The Forge is a vast galaxy, and your former home, if you had one, is lost to you, forsaken by you, or a distant memory. Consider what happened to sunder or separate you from your home and relationships. This is your backstory. This origin can influence the stories you explore and vows you undertake as you play Starforged, or it might just provide some texture to help bring your character to life. Keep it simple. There's no need to invent an elaborate history. You can discover more about your character through play. Backstory prompts. Abandoned, haunted, on your own, wanderlust. I think it's kind of like a combination of wanderlust, and haunted by past actions and failures. Like I think I ended up seeking out knowledge because I failed to have enough of it at some point that resulted in my former community or whatever being corrupted and destroyed or something like that. Not like destroyed, but like it doesn't exist anymore because of corruption, because some piece of information or something like that I didn't know about, or that, you know, one of these metallic pieces of debris. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's that debris element. Like these pieces are sort of like the TV show Debris, or like the bits of technology from Monty Cook, Numenera, those things where they all do weird stuff. I like that. That's kind of fun. So there was this piece of thing, and it got triggered and caused everybody to get corrupted or something, and I was away, or I was there or something, or I don't think maybe I made it happen. I don't know. I don't know. But anyhow, that's kind of the backstory. I think that's what happened. So these pieces of metal have effects. And maybe they're random weird effects or something like that. Yeah, that could be fun to explore. Building a backstory with other players. I'm not gonna play with other people. But yeah, brainstorm ways in which you know each other. Note that Starforged assumes your characters are working towards shared or complementary goals. Your backstory should not prohibit you from working together. You are allies, not enemies. A bit of friendly rivalry or fiction between characters can make for good storytelling, but in the end, you will stand together against those forces which would see your vows unfulfilled. Yeah, so it's the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Write your background vow. I'm not sure how I'm gonna write it, but this is the Dark Light Star. Find the mystery of the Dark Light Star. Maybe the artifact that destroyed my previous community is in fact the one that has the map on it, and it triggered some corruption or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm not sure how to write this one, so it's probably going to be really vague. But but it's an epic level. I'm going to figure out the mystery of the Darklight Star. So envision the vow. Consider what you know of the setting and your character thus far. What nagging ambition, aching need, or sacred commitment drives you? This is your background vow. This vow is part of your character's history, sworn months ago or years ago, and can be tied to your backstory or representing a deeper lifelong goal. Fulfilling this vow will not be easy. Mechanically, it is an epic vow, so every opportunity to reach a milestone is just one tick on the vow's progress track. In story time, it might require months, years, or even decades to see this vow, whoa, god dang it, fulfilled or forsaken. You may even decide your background vow isn't something you make significant progress on in your narrative. Instead, it helps establish some role-playing detail for your character and fleshes out the setting. Background vows and allies. If you are playing Starforged with others, you should each have your own background vow. This is part of what makes your character unique. Write the vow. Mark the vow on your character sheet in the spot labeled background vow. Write the name of the vow using the imagined words of your character, such as, I will destroy the Ironclaw Raider clan. I will discover the means of preserving consciousness beyond death. I will unravel the mystery of the Darklight Star. So that's going to be... I will unravel the mystery of the Darklight Star. Normally, you'd make the swear an iron vow move to see what happens as you begin a quest, but you've already sworn this vow as part of your background and don't need to actually make the move in-game. Can't think of a vow? If you're having trouble coming up with a background vow, try rolling on some oracle tables for inspiration. Roll action and theme, pages 135 to 137, or character goal, page 169, and interpret the results. You can also take a look at the back of the back at those quest starters for your selected truths in the previous exercise, or just leave the background vow blank now and add it once something occurs during play. Yeah, no, I think I got it. And the inciting incident is this lost colony, I think. Step 5, board your starship. Take the starship command vehicle asset card. And so let's... Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. I didn't... God dang it. Okay, so all I've done is... I've gone through the assets, looked at the choose the two paths, created my backstory, and I read through that, and then write your background vow, which we did. Sorry I didn't switch back to this, but in the top corner here, you can see the command vehicle starship is the asset. And the first tick is your armed multi-purpose starship is suited for interstellar and atmospheric flight. It can comfortably transport several people, has space for cargo, and can carry and launch support vehicles. When you advance, you may spend experience to equip this vehicle with module assets. When you finish an expedition, score a hit. This journey strengthens your tie to your ship, and any failure travels, and you and your allies may mark one tick on your Bond's legacy track. Oh, interesting. When you withstand damage, you may roll plus heart if you do endure stress on a weak or hit miss. Okay. The default marked ability provides the basic functions of the ship. You can claim the other two abilities when you earn some experience in advance, or for now, leave them unmarked. Flying with allies. If you are playing with allies, you share their starship asset. You can put the card in a place accessible to all of the players, or appoint one player to manage the card. Flying alone. If you are playing Starforged solo, you are a lone spacer in a vast galaxy. Thanks to automation and centralized controls, your starship is fully capable of flying and fighting while operated by a single pilot. Giving the starship a history. Envision how you obtained or earned this ship. You can come up with your own origin or roll or pick on the table below. If you use a suggestion from the table, take a moment to consider and elaborate on that suggestion. Acquired it in trade, built out of repurposed scrapped, claimed as spoils of war, discovered as a derelict and patched together, earned in exchange for a promise or vow, found abandoned in perfect condition, granted by an organization or community, inherited from a relative or mentor, purchased at a suspiciously cheap price, stolen from a notorious crime boss, taken while fleeing an attack or disaster, won in a bet. Well, I think inherited from a relative and taken while fleeing an attack or disaster. I think that background. This is a ship that was left at my original settlement that's now gone, and so I took it to get away. I think that's how I got it. Excuse me. If you are playing with others, who owns this starship? If you are playing with others, discuss whether your characters are co-owners of the ship or if one of you is the primary owner. Alternatively, the ship can belong to another person or faction, and you are its crew. There's a missing period at the end of that, and you are its crew, period. This is just a narrative embellishment. It has no effect on how the asset is used in play. Anyone aboard can use the starship asset abilities. Envision the starship. Your starship is an important aspect of your character and a character in its own right. Serenity. I forgot the name. That was weird. I got confused. Firefly, Serenity, all that. Anyhow, blah, blah, blah. Losing my mind. What does it look like? What makes it interesting or uniquely yours? Does it have any particular quirks? If nothing occurs to you now, you can flesh it out in play, or roll once or twice on the table below. Yeah, I might roll on there a couple times. I think it kind of looks probably a little bit like a starship from Flash Gordon. But at the same time, it's like kind of like a Carrack maybe from Star Citizen. Yeah, I don't know. I'll come up with something. I think it's cool looking. I think it's okay looking. And name your starship. Let's go to the Oracle on page 167. And 167 starship name. So let's roll. And I got 91. Wow. Okay. Titan. What's 19? Alara 5. 20. Enchantress, or 2. Argent Arrow. 43. 34. Not feeling any of these. Maybe just Darklight. Do I call it Darklight? I'm going to pencil that in. Shard of the Sun is name 73. Sundown? Nightfall? Something like that. So Darklight or Shard of the Sun or something. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna think about that. Okay, so let's go back to page 99. Where is it? 99. Okay. Name your starship. Choose your final asset. Now that your ship is ready, you can pick one final asset. This time, you aren't limited to picking a path. You can choose the asset from any of the following categories: module, support vehicle, companion, or path. I don't think there were modules on it when I got it. I don't think I don't think I really have a support vehicle. I don't think I have a companion yet. So yeah, I'm gonna take tech as my third. Explorer, archivist, and tech and so I'm gonna have the 3 paths. And set my stats. Oh man, that's gonna be a problem. So what did I do? I'm looking at my previous characters here. Okay, so Ulad was 2 in edge, 1 in heart, 1 iron, 2 shadow, 3 wits. What was Mukoda? Mukoda was 2 edge, 3 heart, 2 iron, 1 shadow, 1 wits. Heart and iron. Courage, willpower, empathy, sociability, loyalty. Physical strength, endurance, aggressiveness, sneakiness, expert. I'm gonna go with the spread that I used on Ulad. So 2 edge for quickness, agility, prowess when fighting at a distance. Heart is 1, is courage, willpower, empathy, sociability, and loyalty. I'm kind of a loner, not very social. Iron, not super strong, not very aggressive, not super good at. I'm slightly better at range than I am at close up, but I probably have a sword. And shadow is sneakiness, deceptiveness, and cunning. And then wits is my 3, and that's expertise, knowledge, and observation. When picking your stats, consider the nature of your emerging character and take a look at your assets to see if any stat in particular is particularly useful. For example, if you are an agent or scoundrel, you would be well served with a high value in shadow. If you are a diplomat, you may often rely on your heart. So let's, let us do switch back. We're going to go to the PDFs, and then we're going to open up assets. And then let's take a quick look at our paths that we've picked. Archivist is doesn't use a particular stat. And Explorer uses no particular stat. And Tech no particular stat. So that doesn't... Oh, wait. It does use wits, which is my 3 on withstand damage. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Because we're basically an academic. We're a combat academic. So, yeah. So let's go back to here. And we're going to do 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. And go back to the rules. Okay, so the next thing is set your condition tracks. And so we've got our health. We've got our spirit. We've got our supply. And we've got our momentum. and as at 2. Okay, so we got that going. Finally, set the integrity of your command vehicle and any support as shown on their asset cards, their max value for your SAR ship. This is +5. So I'll have the asset card and we'll do +5. So somewhere I'll do, like, get that printed and the paths that I've picked and get that set up as well. So step 9, envision your character. Now that the mechanical and background aspects of your character are all set, take a moment to envision their appearance and personality. To start, just define 1 or 2 facts for their physical look, how they act, and what they wear. You don't need much detail at this stage. You can discover the nuances of your character through play. For example, look, covered in tattoos, has a prosthetic leg, also adorned in art, act, keen understanding of machines, often prefers them to people, and wears safety goggle and dirty coveralls. Make note of the aspects that you like, or just keep them in mind as you introduce your character. Basically, for me, at this point, I'm just envisioning Dr. Aphra, essentially. I don't know if I have a particular gender. Maybe non-binary for now. Use your character sheet to give your character a name. Oh, man. Let's go to page 171 and see if we can come up with a name. Character name. So I got 70. Merrick. What's 7? Aparna? And a family name. 12. Ripley. No. 21. O'Brien. No. Alien or Star Trek? Take your pick. 23. Stallard? Or 32. Talon. Astrid Stallard. I'm gonna switch it. I'm actually gonna go. I saw in the list Astrid. We're gonna go with Astrid. Stallard. Let's see. Where were we? 90 something. Oh, and a call sign. Shoot. So we were at 101. So 171. What's a call sign? And so maybe I'll go by the call sign more than I do anything else. Okay, let's roll that. 29. Dancer. Ugh. 92. Vanguard. Let's roll one more time. 60. 16. Brick. Ugh. Ogre. The reason why ogre is funny is because Rigaroga. Rigaroga. I'm gonna go with ogre. I don't know. Let's roll one more time and let's just see if there's something that comes out better. 89, 98. Wraith. 89. Tycoon. Ugh. Wraith or Ogre. Okay, well, let's go with Ogre for now as a call sign. And yeah, we'll go with that. That'll be our call sign. For now. We could always change it later. When we have to change our name and and flee. Okay, so if you don't feel you've earned a call sign yet, leave it blank or for now. Perhaps you'll gain one in the course of your story. I think it's a childhood nickname. I think I may change it. I may end up changing it in the course of the story, but that's what I was called as a kid. In a weird way. And gear up. In Starforged, you won't need a detailed list of equipment. Your supply track is an abstract representation, god dang it, of your general readiness: clothes, fuel, energy, food, water, tools, weapon, ammo, mundane equipment, and financial resources. You are equipped and armed as appropriate to your vision of your character and the nature of your setting. Your spacer kit. You can assume you have access to some fundamental necessities necessary for space travel and exploration, either carried with you or stored on your ship. This is your spacer kit. It includes sealed environmental suit, flashlights, headlamps, toolkit, medkit, personal communicator. Personal items. Apart from your spacer kit, make note of any specific gear which represents an important aspect of your character's approach, capabilities, or background. Keep this list short. Around 4 to 5 items at most. The character sheet has space at the bottom. You can write any notable gear there. Losing important equipment or cherished items can be an outcome of a costly action or event in your story. Your assets, in particular, can influence the gear you envision your character having at the ready. For example, you might be a tech with a well-used datapad for interfacing with systems and writing code, or you might be a gunslinger with a pair of heirloom pistols. Also consider the object you swear iron vows upon. What is this object's history and why is it important to you? Your character is all set now. In the next exercise, you'll set up starting situation for your campaign and begin your adventures in the Forge. So I think I have a tech kit, I have an exploration kit, and I have archivist. I think archivist, the datapad, might double up for that. And might be for exploring. I think exploring, I definitely need like like a pack of some kind, with all kinds of tools and various things like that. I'll look at the assets again, but basically I think each one might have a kit, and we'll just call it the tech kit, the explorer kit, and the archivist kit for now, and whatever useful stuff. I mean, like an archivist, it'll be data pads and information stuff. Yeah, so we'll go with that. And I think that's basically where we're gonna stop, or I'm gonna stop today. And then the next thing is that's a really cool illustration, sort of Predator inspired there. That's cool. And then we're going to build a starting sector next time. But for this time, I'm going to cut it to a close. And if you're watching this, thank you. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. That's really awesome of you. And feel free to add your comments and ideas and whatnot in the comments below. Oh my God, I just did a YouTube thing. Oh God, sue me. Oh. It feels horrible. I feel so cringe. Yeah, anyhow, next week, we're going to build a starting sector. And I actually had this all set up to go with Hex Kit. So we'll use that next time to build our starting sector. And and then adventure maybe the next time. We'll see. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.